We are live. Parents, your siblings, your loved ones, your church. So, as I mentioned, this is the fourth grade division of the National Science League. We are playing with play off scoring meetings. I have each question and it marks. If you answer correctly within the first one, it is 6 points. The second portion is worth 5 points. The third portion is worth 4 points. If you're correct after the question that you finished read, you get 3 points. Now here's where you really have to pay attention. Every time you buzz in, correct or incorrect, score will change. If you are incorrect while I'm reading the question, the -2 question is a -1. And still play buzzing one time per question, and you can answer any answer. But three, there is a chance that people might win on a single question. You need 40 points. 40. Magic number to come in first place, or second place, or third place. We will break ties for every position. Even if there's a tie for sixth place, we will break every tie. We want a clear and concise. What was that? Correct. Yes. So every place, or I just nine. It's nine. There's nine, and there's 9 files. Yeah. Yeah. I was just about to get to that. So if nobody gets the 40, whoever is the rankings are based on the scores themselves. So we'll go from top to bottom. We'll have a clear and concise 1 through 9. In addition, after this is over, we'll take a field trip. We'll go to Regency RS, and that is where your trophies/plaques will be awarded. We want you to get those awards because you are, yes. There's going to be 30 questions, 30, and you need 40, that's 40, to end your round. All right. So means that you're done. And that you're late. All right, so we will do a buzzer check. So we're going to go down the line. Right. Please keep this in mind. Once you buzz in, I will call on you by first name. All right. So I advise you. I guarantee you that I will call your name. So, but not telling you how to buzz, but when I call your name, that means that it is your buzz. So if you blurt out anything, just let you know as a warning. If you do blurt out something, that not only disqualifies you from answering that question, but you actually might be giving the answer away to your opponent. Be mindful of. So remember, I will call on you, and that light in front of you, that definitely indicates that you have buzzed in. You're not getting any bonus points for pressing the button and answering at the same time. And as always, once I start even the first syllable of a question, that is a live draw. I mistakenly buzz in. Once I start the first syllable, that is considered a buzz. All protests will be immediate, so if you do want to file a protest, you can stop the game, get an adjudication, and then we will continue. I think those are all of these. Does anyone have any questions? No? Yes. First, 6, then 5, then 4. If the question is done, is 3. Then 2 if I'm reading the question. Then 1 if I am double first. Right? No questions on the board, right? All right. Before we actually start with the questioning, let's do a proper introduction. So we're going to go down the line and introduce yourself by name, Great. Want to say state you're from? My name is Look, everyone, and I know this is a final, and this might be an intense situation for you, but please have fun. We're here to have fun. Number one, right? Question number one. Good luck. This is an outline. One key step in making this thing involves blowing oxygen from molten metal to oxidize impurities. That is good job. Incorrect. It's a -2. So oxidize impurities like silicon, phosphorus, and manganese. The process to make this product involves reducing the content of one element in pig iron. That is Rashad. Steel is correct for 5. And we will announce individual scores after every question for whoever got plus or minus. We'll score check after 10 and 20 more in next. You got -2, Rashad. Question number 2. This diagram includes a portion called an instability strip. This diagram includes a prominent band cutting diagonally across it that is not. That is incorrect. So -2. Cutting diagonally across it called the main sequence. Within this diagram, white dwarfs. That is Brandon. That is correct. Yes. Said HR. Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you said hexstrom. That's my fault. So if that's what you said HR, then I can accept that. Correct. All right. So it was still worth 5. So we're gonna award 5 points to Dev Dot. Right. Good with that. Okay. My apologies on that. All right. So Team Dust. All right. Question 3. Along with Proust's law, this man's pioneering statement of the law of multiple proportions led to the study of stoichiometry. This scientist published a law stating that the total pressure in a mixture of gases, that is Brandon, that is incorrect, -2. That the total pressure in a mixture of gases is equal to the pressures of the individual gases. For the points, famous English scientist who pioneered modern atomic theory, arguing that element separation is junction. John Dalton is correct for 4. Brandon, you have here 2, Yokshin, you have 4. All right. And we go on to question number 4. Infantile onset examples of this disease are marked by the appearance of a cherry red spot within the retina. This disease is unusually common in French Canadian, Cajun, and Ashkenazi Jewish communities. For the points, name this always fatal disease which causes destruction of nerves in the brain and spinal cord, named for 2 British and American doctors. Time. That is the Tay-Sachs disease. That's TAY-SACHS. Or we could have accepted it to GM2 gangliosidosis before I said it was GM2. Question 5. One of these areas is called Great Meteor, west east coast. It's responsible for its carpets called quarter rides, along with intrusions in the White Mountains. Seamount chains can be created by these areas, typified by basaltic rock, which are unusually warm areas of the Venezuela. Mr. Jordan. That is correct for 5. Good. Here you now 3. Question 6. This astronomical object is a crater, Gertrude, and it was discovered by what? That is random. That's incorrect. More information. Time. By William Herschel alongside Avalon. Yes, titanium is correct, and I think accepted Uranus for me. Right. But that was for 6.
Brendan, you're now at -4. No shit, you are now at 10.
Great. 7. This property is the reason why an object sliding on a frictionless surface continues moving indefinitely. That is Judge. That is inertia for 6, Erica.
Sure, you are now at 10.
Question 8. Random one of these things can be generated when a sequence is shuffled by the Fisher-Yates shuffle. For a set of n distinct elements, there are exactly n factorial one of these things. For the points, name these rearrangements of a set in which the ordering of each element is potentially changed. And that is partial. It's incorrect. -1. That is correct. Permutations, and it says specifically do not accept combinations, so accept it. All right, that was 3 for that data.
For shot that brings to 4, the data that brings to 8.
Correct. Question 9. Pi values in this property are related to low Secchi depths, which are determined by observing the points at which a black and white disk is no longer clearly visible. Downhill movements of water filled with sediment make up this property's currents. For the points, name this property describing the degree of cloudiness in a water sample. That is your Jordan. That's incorrect. -1. Time for turbidity. TURBIDITY. Turbidity.
Sure, that brings me to 8. The data that brings me to 7.
Right. 10. This website's Markdown-based editor says page down, a librarian from Markdown. Users with sufficient reputation can flag posts on this website as duplicates or edit questions tagged with technology such as Python or Java. For the points, name this question and answer website where programmers commonly debug code if you're a website named for a type of software error. And that is Abe. Was that? No, that's -1. Time, that's a tough one. Stack Overflow. For Stack Overflow options on. Alright, so that's 10 down, so we'll do an overall score here.
0, random -4, Francis 0, so 0, Yashin 10, Abe -1, Data 7, or shots for New York.
What's that chat? Alright, so this was matchup that we're going to do. Question number 11. COLD contrast technique is used in the functional form of this technology to track blood flow in real time. Patients being examined with this technology often consume contrast agents before being scanned. Are the points? Name this medical technology that uses magnetic field that is visual. That is MRI. Do you know what it stands for? Very good. I can't give you any bonus for that, but very impressed. And that was worth what did I tell? Before being scanned, right? So that is worth 5.
Sure, that brings you to 13.
Question 12. These events, first detected by Bella satellites searching for nuclear tests, are divided. That is Prashad. Very good for 6.
Prashad, that brings you to 10.
Question 13. The virus responsible for this disease uses the ACE2 receptor to enter host cells, a process mediated by its glycoprotein. This disease can trigger a hyperinflammatory immune response known as a cytokine, and its variants include Delta and Omicron. That is Captain. That is correct for 5.
Shit, that brings you to 15.
Question 14. These numbers include all of the transcendental numbers, and these numbers are contrasted with a set off. That is Sophie. What's that? Irrational numbers is correct for 6.
Brings you to 6.
Question 15. A pseudovector measuring the amount of these units traveled per second is signified by the lowercase Greek letter omega. One complete revolution measures as pi of these units. One of these units is roughly equivalent to 57.3 degrees. For the points, it is Devdara. Radian is correct for the points that were and the degrees. That's worth 5.
Yay, Devdara, that brings you to 12.
And I would have accepted just grad. I think all of them were there today. Make it to 12.
In the meantime, I'll give you another score set. So right now, Noshid, you are leading with 15. Nishor with 13. Devdara 12. Rashad, you have 10. Sophie 6. Francis 0. Aura 0. Abe -1. And Brandon -4.
All right. Question 16. What is it? Question 16. Ignaz Semmelweis was called the savior of mothers for his promotion. Ignaz Semmelweis was called the savior of mothers for his promotion of using chlorinated lime for this procedure to prevent postpartum infections. In restaurants, this procedure helped prevent the spread of norovirus. That is Prashad. That is incorrect. -2. For the point, name this practice that should be done for 20 seconds with warm water and soap. That's correct, yes, for 4.
Rashad, that brings you to 8. And Yakshit, that brings you to 19.
And 17. A protocol to implement these services that performs better than IPsec is WireGuard. McAfee owns one of these services called TunnelBear, which features the use of AES 256 encryption and spoofing of IP addresses.
CN?
Yes. For 5.
Sure, that brings you to 8.
It stands for Virtual Private Network. I only have VPN, Virtual Private Network. All right, question 18. Tiger moths evolve Tiger moths evolved a defense against this behavior that involves producing bursts of rapid clicks, along with communication. Facilitating this behavior is the primary purpose of the ball and fat called a melon found in the echolocation is correct for 5.
Rashad, that brings you to 13.
All right, question 19. Overactivity of these glands is a major factor in the development of acne vulgaris. These glands secrete a substance that lubricates the skin and hair, preventing. That is correct for 5 as well.
Rashad, that brings you to 8.
Okay. Inching our way towards the magic number of 40. And here comes question 20. This researcher proposed using cocaine to treat morphine addiction. His patient, Emma Exton, for a disastrous nasal surgery to treat hysteria. This researcher proposed that the unconscious was composed of the ego, superego, and id. For the points, named as Austrian neurologist and psychologist, the following Sophie. That is Sigmund Freud for 4. Correct.
For 9 out of 10.
All right, so that's 1 down. We're doing the exposure.
Scores that check from the option for a friendly meeting with 19 points. Rashad and Majora, you were tied at 18. Dejana, you were 12. Sophie, 10. Francis and Ara, 0. Abe is -1. And Brandon, -4.
Great. 21. This autoimmune disorder targets oligodendrocytes, leading to the destruction of the myelin sheath that insulates nerve fibers. It can present with relapsing, reemitting, or progressive forms and frequently leads to muscle weakness, fatigue, and coordination problems. For the points, name this neurological disease abbreviated MS. Time. That's multiple sclerosis. Question 22. When ethylene gas is reacted with this element, it creates a compound that was used as an additive to gasoline that was used as an additive to gasoline that had lead anti-knocking agents. A pest control agent containing this element and a methyl is also responsible for ozone depletion and has been limited in production by the Montreal Protocol. That is your No, incorrect, -2. Used as a fire retardant and named for its pungent smell. For the points, name this reddish brown element that is. Bromine is correct for 4.
Sure, that brings you to 16. Yakshit, that brings you to 20.
Great. Question 23. A mixture of methane, ammonia, hydrogen. It's the Miller-Ray experiment, which found these things to be made when an electric arc was created. Chains of these things are linked together to create. It's correct. 4, 5.
Donna, that brings you to. Oh, I'm sorry. Harshan. That's what I meant. Brings you to 23.
Question 24. This vector quantity is formed in certain regions when created by a Helmholtz coil. An induced version of this quantity opposes the original version of this quantity per Lenz's law. An electric current generates this quantity, which can be calculated by the Biot-Savart law. For the points, what vector fields can be measured in Tesla? Yes. Correct. Yeah, I can take that. So magnetic flux, which I don't have here, I could have accepted magnetic field, but I have nothing here that says flux. So that was too much information. So I will take magnetism. So the term is magnetic field, but the magnetism is fine. That's All right, so for now, just announce that that was 4 points for Yajor. I'm sorry, 3 points for Yajor, and I will adjudicate. I will let in. Data. Question number 28. And it's a question ago. Constantly. So wait for the confirmation on that. Just was denied, so that was not accepted. So the scores as they are correct.
So the data should have 10 and Yajor should have 19. That should be 19.
What's the
Okay, the data should have 11.
All right, so the scores that I see them are correct. Continue on to question 25. The saturation ratio, which is the ratio of this quantity for a solution droplet and for pure water with a flat surface, appear in the Kohler equation in meteorology. Examples of this quantity are multiplied by a mole fraction in Rath's law. For the points, name this quantity that measures the force exerted over area for a gas. Or is the done? That is incorrect. More information. No. So that's another -2, and 2 buzzers. No, not so. So the point being, this quantity that measures the force exerted over area for a gas that is in equilibrium with a solid liquid of the same substance. Time, that is vapor pressure. Vapor pressure. I'll put it if you want to, but I have nothing here that says any either promise or accept error. So, one more pitch. My vote is in. Yeah.
While we're waiting on a protest, I'm gonna go get an extension cord because this needs to charge.
Let's see. Can't continue to let because it affects scoring. So it's not like the exam matches where it's basically on a scale of 1. And in that situation, they would get being lost points there. It's just a regular toss-up question, and it's a 7 difficulty, so you have to answer correctly in 2 things. So it's not like there's any negative, so there's no negatives involved. So you can't put like yeah, we do just each other.
Movie at 23. Our shot is 21, because you're 19. Sophie 10, Tiagana 9. Francis and Aura 0. Ave -1, and then -4, and it looks like the protest was just 9, so that's so it's 16. Great.
Alright, so the scores are plus question number 26. Compounds with this interaction will lose a crystal lattice structure when undergoing solvation in solvents like water. This interaction is exhibited in salts like sodium chloride, in which 2 atoms have large differences in electronegativities. For the points, identify this type of chemical bond. Ionic bond reaction is correct, and that is for 4.
And 27.
And here comes question 27. A structure called the wrap releases eucalypt, allowing these organisms to fly. 2 orders of these organisms, that is No, incorrect, -2. Include the